do it slowly at first. So it goes like this. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. You thought you were coming to sit on an easy evening, but I'm going to make you work. Right, so the first two lines are, can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Again, can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Good. Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Want to do that part again?
Yeah.
Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Okay, now we'll take it from the beginning. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. So let's do the ma part. Ready? Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Again. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Going. Can you dig it? Got it. Can you dig it? Going. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Going. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. I'm drawing a line. Mary Kay, you can choose which side of the line. I'm gonna put you're over here. And you know, if I'm going through your one side or the other. So here's how the round goes. This is tricky, but it's fun.
I'm joking.
So you come in really fast. So it's can you dig? Can you dig? Right? So you guys over here are going to start with can you dig that crazy gibberish? But as soon as they start, you're going to be ready to pop right in.
You need
Try it. Let's try this group over here.
Yeah, be a conductor.
Let's try it first as a group. So now you got your team over here. Ready? Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off of my tractor. Okay, you guys over here. Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig that crazy gibberish? Keep going. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh, look, there's a chicken on the barnyard gate. Oh, look, there's another one coming down the road. Ma? Ma? Get that son of a gun off my tractor. All right, so can we try it with, it's a really fast entrance. So you guys over here have to be really ready. Ready? We're going to start over here. One, and so it's going to be, can you dig? Can you dig? Okay? 1, 2, 3, go.
Can you dig that crazy gibberish?
Stop.
You said
You gotta wait. Can you dig? Can you dig?
I just want to win.
Ready? Hit it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Can you dig that crazy gibberish?
dig it? Can you dig that crazy river? Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it?
Oh look, there's a barnyard, barnyard, look. Oh look, there's another one coming down the road. Get that stuff that's off of my track, my track. Crazy
Once is enough.
Once more.
Once is enough.
Then we'll ask you. One last time.
All right, one last.
1, 2, 3, go.
Can you dig?
Can you dig that crazy river? Can you dig it? 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 Can you dig that crazy river? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Oh look, there's a barnyard, barnyard. Oh look, there's another round down the road. Get that sun that's off of my tractor. Clouds so swift, the rain won't lift, the gate won't close, the railing, there's a lot about gates somehow. Get your mind off of wintertime, you ain't going nowhere. Sing it with, you know. Ooh, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. Now I don't care how many letters they sent. Morning come, morning went. Pick up the money, pack your tent. You ain't going nowhere. Sing with me. Ooh, we ride me high. Tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? Buy me a flute, a gun that shoots, tailgates, substitutes. Strap yourself to a tree with roots. You ain't going nowhere. Ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, are we gonna fly down in the easy chair? The Genghis Khan, he could not keep all his men supplied with meat. Climb that hill no matter how steep, when you get up to it. Ooh, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. One last time. Ooh, ride me high, tomorrow's the day my bride's gonna come. Oh, we gonna fly down in the easy chair. I was looking at some YouTube videos of Pete Seeger's work this past week, and I came upon his first his second TV performance after being blacklisted during the McCarthy period. And the two appearances that he made between 1950 and 1968 on TV were both on the Tom and Dick Smothers Brothers comedy hour, and it's really interesting how they had to really fight to get him on, and there was talk about his music being censored, and Tom Smothers talks about some of the songs that he was responsible for, from Where Have All the Flowers Gone to Turn, Turn, Turn. And one of the songs that he actually co-authored with one of the other members of the Weavers, Lee Hayes, I realized when he mentioned it, it is one of the earliest folk songs that I ever knew. And I learned it at a summer camp that my family was part of when I was very young. My parents worked there, and we all went. I started when I was 4. So this is one of the oldest songs I know. You'll all know it, and you might know it differently than I learned it, which was a sort of very traditional, original version, and that's what I'll sing, but feel free to sing it whatever way you like. And I don't know, I can't remember the last time I ever performed it, because it's sort of one of those everybody knows and has sung so many times that nobody would dare get on a stage and do it. But here we go. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning, I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out the warning, I'd hammer out the love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, if I had a bell, I'd sing it, ring it in the morning, I'd ring it in the evening, all over this land. I'd ring out danger, I'd ring out warning, I'd ring out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, over this land. If I had a song, I'd sing it in the morning, I'd sing it in the evening, sing it in the evening, all over this land, all over this land. I'd sing out danger, I'd sing out warning, I'd sing out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, this land. If I had, did I do the song? Now I've got a hammer, and I've got a bell, and I've got a song to sing all over this land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, here's the land. It's the hammer of justice, it's the bell of freedom, it's the song about love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh, great story about the Reverend Gary Davis, who wrote this song. I heard Dave Van Ronk tell this story. He told the story about how he was playing in Boston, and Gary Davis was playing in Providence. And Gary Davis needed a ride back to New York. They both lived in New York. And so Dave Van Ronk drove his car down to Providence. They picked up Gary Davis, and he was in the back of the car. Gary Davis is a big guy, blind, and sat in the back seat. And so he sat in the back seat with this big. He had this big old, bigger than this old 12-string guitar that he called Mr. Bozo. And he was in the back seat playing the guitar, and he was playing Candy. And about 45 minutes of this, and then Ron said, "Gary, would you just like play something else for God's sakes?" And he turned around. Candyman, I wish I was in New Orleans right now. Can't stand. So I took this song and I used to work with kids in another lifetime, and I played music at a school, and we're talking preschool, kindergarten, first grade, and I taught them this song. And they would like, the kids would pound their fists on the floor to give us a little drum effect. You could do that if you like. And there's a chorus. We don't have to do all the verses, but the chorus, well, it's not even a chorus, it's just run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. I wish I was in New Orleans right now. I can't stand. So I taught the kids the whole song. And they were 5 years old singing, "Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer." And one day I'm playing, and the kids are doing fantastic. They're singing great, and there's nothing better. And in walks the principal of the school, who was one of the major innovators at the time. Philadelphia was sort of the vanguard of innovative progressive education. This is back in the early 70s. And so he walked in with 3 members of the Philadelphia Board of Education. And I'm like, okay, you can knock your fists on the floor. And they're going, "Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer." Run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. Candy stand. So eventually, I made a recording of these kids singing folk songs, and this song was part of it. It was part of the recording. And I used to get letters from Moses Asch, who was the owner and brilliant creator of Folkways Records. And he would send me little blurbs whenever there was a review of this recording, which was really basically of the kids singing. And so one day I got this letter that included a letter from somebody at the library in the city of Chicago. And it was a bitter complaint about the song Candyman being on this children's album. And I thought, finally somebody figured out that run, fetch your bucket, get your baby some beer. But it turns out, and this is what just delighted me with the story, was there was no mention of beer in the complaint. There's do anything in this God Almighty world, Candyman home. That was the complaint. Fine with the beer. Wish I was in New Orleans, right down the candy stand. I'm not going to do a whole lot of politics tonight, but what I will say is that
Preaching to the choir here.
it's a lot too complicated out there. But I'll say this one. I'm going to say this one. Venezuela, complicated. And I don't presume to know a thing about what's going on there. I read some things here and I read some things here, and it feels more complicated to me than the story we're actually getting. But that doesn't mean that I know it's not what we're getting or it is what we're getting. I just feel like I've been here before, even if this is not what was before. It feels like before, because there's this group think that goes on with the media and with everybody else, and it just, if you lived through the Gulf of Tonkin resolution where 2 senators voted against kicking off the Vietnam War full bore, and then you found out that things weren't quite the way people said they were, it just brings me back a little bit. And this is the song that CBS didn't want Pete Seeger to sing on TV. It took a lot of lobbying by the Smothers brothers to get him to be able to sing it. It was 1968 at the height of the Vietnam War. It was back in 1943, I was a member of the good platoon. We were on maneuvers in Louisiana one night by the light of the moon. The captain told us to ford a river, that's how it all begun. We were knee deep in the big muddy, and the big fool said to push on. Well, Sergeant said, "Sir, are you sure this is the best way back to the base?" "Sergeant, go on, I forded this river a mile above this place. It'll be a little soggy, but just keep slogging, we'll soon be on dry ground." We were waist deep in the big muddy, and the big fool said to the town. Well, Sergeant said, "With all this equipment, no man will be able to swim." "Sergeant, don't be a nervous Nelly," the captain said to him. "All you need is a little determination, and follow me, I'll lead on." We were neck deep in the big muddy, and the big fool said to push on. With all at once the moon clouded over, we heard a gurgling cry. A few minutes later, the captain's helmet was all that floated by. The sergeant said, "Turn around, men, I'm in charge from now on." And we just made it out of the big muddy, with the captain dead and gone. Well, we stripped and dived and found his body stuck in the old quicksand. Yes, he didn't know that the water was deeper from the place that he once stood. Turns out there was another stream that met with the big muddy where we had gone. And we, to escape from the big muddy, with the big fool to push on. Well, I'm not trying to point any morals, I'll leave that for yourself. Maybe you're still walking, you're still talking, you like your health. But every time I read the paper, that old feeling comes on. We're waist deep in the big muddy and the big fool's waist deep in the big muddy and the big fool said to push on. Waist deep in the big muddy, the big fool said to push on. Waist deep, neck deep, soon even a tall man will be over his head. Well, waist deep in the big muddy, and the big fool said to push on. So, in the spirit of I said I wasn't going to talk much politics. I'm not. But it does sign, and I'm one who believes that Mr. Mueller will do a good job and figure out what needs to be figured out.
From your mouth to God's ears.
But I also, I also worry about the word Russians. It's like all of a sudden Russians are evil again, and the politics of Russia and the United States, everywhere else, I'm not interested in discussing. I don't have powerful feelings about it, and I don't profess to have expertise, but it worries me that we're dehumanizing Russian people, children, young adults, old people. And this song was actually penned by I've read 4-year-old and I've read 6-year-old. And now you're going to have to work a little bit again. Take it down a little easier for me. So, pust всегда. Pust всегда. That's right. Пусть всегда. Пусть всегда будет солнце. Пусть всегда. This is not as hard as it seems. Пусть всегда будет солнце. Пусть всегда будет небо. Солнце, небо. Пусть всегда будет мама. Пусть всегда буду я. That's the whole song. It goes like this. Пусть всегда будет солнце. Пусть всегда будет небо. Пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я, пусть всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. The song was written to a painting or a drawing that this child had done of the sun and the blue skies and Mama. Всегда будет солнце. Будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я, пусть всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. May there always be sunshine, may there always be blue skies, may there always be mama, may there always be me, sing it with me. May there always be sunshine, may there always be blue skies, may there always be mama, may there always be me. Всегда будет солнце, всегда будет небо, всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. Always be sunshine, always be blue skies, always be mama, may there always be little harmony, may there always be sunshine, may there always be blue sky, may there always be mama, may there always be. Last time in Russian. Всегда будет солнце, всегда будет небо, пусть всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. Всегда будет солнце, пусть всегда будет небо, всегда будет мама, пусть всегда буду я. This was my first guitar. Wow. I got it when I was in high school. And it's just a year younger than I am. And I have a larger guitar, not just the 12-string, but I have a larger guitar that I expected to be using tonight. But I could never give this one away. I'm really glad that I didn't, because the other one's got some they're not old age issues, because this one's older, but so this one is by Malvina Reynolds, who wrote a song called Little Boxes, like some people know. This one is a short little one. Last night I had a lovely dream. I saw a big parade, ticker tape galore, and men were marching there, the likes I'd never seen before. I should also say that people have tinkered with the words to make it a little less politically incorrect, but I go with Malvina Reynolds. She's okay by me, and I'm singing it the way she wrote it. Bankers and the diplomats are going in the army. Oh, happy day, I'd give my pay to see them on parade, with their paunches at attention and their striped pants at ease. They've gotten patriotic and they're going overseas. We'll have to do the best we can and bravely carry on. And we'll just keep the laddies here to manage while they're gone. So it was written in 1963. There's chorus. Oh, we hate to see him go, the gentleman of distinction in the army. Try it. Oh, we hate to see him go, the gentleman of distinction in the army. Oh, the bankers and the diplomats are going in the army. It seems a shame to keep them from the wars they love to plan. We're all of us contented that they'll fight a lovely war. They don't need propaganda, they know what they're fighting for. They'll march along with dignity and in the proper form. And we'll just keep the laddies here to keep the lassies warm. Oh, we hate to see him go, the gentleman of distinction in the army. Oh, the bankers and the diplomats are going in the army. We'll have to make things easy 'cause it's all so new and strange. We'll give them silver shovels when they have to dig a hole, and they can sing in harmony when answering the roll. We'll give them old K rations in a hand-embroidered box, and when they die, we'll bring them home and bury them in Fort Knox. Oh, we hate to see them go, the gentlemen of distinction in the army. This song was written by an English songwriter named Ralph McTell, who came up with the idea for the song when he was living in Paris. Only when he wrote it, a friend of his told him that there was already a song written titled "The Streets of Paris." So we had to retool the song. It's called "The Streets of London." Have you seen the old man in the closed down market, kicking up papers with his worn out shoes? In his eyes you see no pride, and held loosely at his side, yesterday's paper telling yesterday's news. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old girl who walks the streets of London? Dirt in her hair and her clothes in rags. She has no time for talking, she just keeps right on walking, carrying her home in 2 carrier bags. So how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. in the all-night cafe at 11:15. Same old man looking there on his own. He looks at his world over the rim of his teacup, and each tea lasts an hour, and he wanders home alone. And how can you tell me you're lonely and say for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. Have you seen the old man walks the streets of London? Memory fading with the metal ribbon that he wears. And in our winter city the rain cries a little pity for one more forgotten hero and a world that doesn't care. How can you tell me you're lonely and stay for you that the sun don't shine? Let me take you by the hand, I'll lead you through the streets of London. I'll show you something to make you change your mind. To tape what I was singing on the guitar, and then I realized, that tape isn't so good for the guitar. So now, the question is, can I see what I wrote?
You need a music stand.
Yeah, I need something. I need more than that. This song was written by somebody that you will know from another context. This was written by Shel Silverstein. He was actually a pretty good songwriter, an amazing storyteller and book author. When I was a lad in a fishing town, an old man said to me, you may spend your life, your jolly life, just a-sailing on the sea. You may search this world for pretty girl till your eyes grow weak and dim. But don't go swimming with a mermaid, son, if you don't know how to swim. 'Cause her hair is green as seaweed, and her skin is blue and pale, and her face is a work of art, and you'll love that girl with all your heart, but you'll only like the upper part. You will not like the tail. So I signed on with a whaling ship, and my very first day at sea, I seen a mermaid in the wave come reaching up to me. Come swim with me in the deep, said she, and down on the ocean floor I'll show you a million wondrous things that you never did see before. Jumped and I followed her down to her seaweed bed, where a pillow made of tortoise shells she placed beneath my head. She fed me shrimp and caviar upon a silver dish. From her head to her waist she was just my taste, but the rest of her was a fish. Oh, her hair was green as seaweed, and her skin well. And her face, it was a work of art. And I told that girl I'd never part, but I only liked the upper part. I did not like the tail. Then one day when I looked up, I saw a sailing ship, and I caught the stare of a millionaire who was out on a fishing trip. A diamond ring he tied to a string, and he lowered it down to the water. Oh, my love divine, she went for his line, and that was the way he caught her. So I sighed and I cried to the tide, and I swam, sang to the clams and the whales, how I miss her fins, her seaweed hair, and the silvery shine of her scales. Then her sister, she came round and set my heart a-whirl, for her upper half was an ugly fish, but the rest of her was a girl. Her toes were pink and rosy, and her knees were smooth and pale, and her legs, they are a work of art. And I love that girl with all my heart, and I don't give a damn about the upper part. And that's how I end my tale. I did notice that the string was a little flat in the middle of the streets of London. Do they stop? So, this song I first heard by one of my closest friends. Spent time in West Virginia. His brother had worked for the Appalachian Volunteers coming out of college, and my friend who died at a very young age played a lot of songs that he learned when he was working down there as a leather craftsman, and I carry this song around. One of the things that it reminds me of, not just of my close friend Burr, but also, I can't seem to get away from this, but there was a lot of talk about coal in the last presidential election. And I kept feeling that the issue of how people's lives was affected by coal was never really addressed by anybody, although there were politics around it that were addressed. But when you're there, when you're in war West Virginia, and the sun is out for a couple hours a day because the hills come like this and the train line comes through and all anybody knows is coal, it just, it's another one of those things that's more complicated than we tend to know. Traveling down this cold town road, listen to my rubber tires whine. Goodbye to Buckeye and white sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. But I've been a coal man all my life, laying down tracks in the hole. Got it back like an armwood, bent by the wind, blood veins blue as the coal. Blood veins as the cold. Somebody said, that's a strange tattoo you have on the side of your head. I said, that's the mark of a number 9 code. A little more and I'd be dead. But I love the rumble and I love the deep. I love the cool of the sleigh. But it's traveling down this new road and looking for a job. Traveling and looking high. Traveling and looking high. I've worked for the union, I've walked in the line, fought against the company. I've stood for the UNW of A. Now who's gonna stand for me? But I got no job and I got no pay. I just got a worried soul and this blue tattoo on the side of my head, left by that number 9 code. Left by that number 9. Someday when I die and go to heaven, land of my dreams, I won't have to worry on losing my job, the hard times and big machines. I won't have to pay my money away on pensions and hospital plans. I'm going to pick coal where the blue waters roll, sing with the angel band, sing with the angel band. Traveling down this cold town road, listen to my rubber-tired whine. Goodbye to Buckeye and White Sycamore, I'm leaving you behind. But I've been a coal man all my life, laying down tracks in the hole. Got a back like an ironwood bent by the wind, but things as blue, the things as blue as the cold. This song I'm not going to make you learn it in any of the foreign languages that it has been translated to, but it has been French and German and Swedish and Korean and Vietnamese and Spanish and Hebrew. It was originally written for a Yiddish play in 1940, and I learned it actually. I was on a mountain trip from my camp, and we were staying at a little hut on the long trail, And somebody from another camp was also there. We had a group there staying in that hut, and he had a guitar, and he played this song around the fire that night, and it just stayed with me. And you probably know it. If you don't, we'll get you in on the chorus. On a wagon bound for market, there's a calf with a mournful eye. Higher above him there's a swallow gently winging through the sky. I'm gonna drop this down. Sorry, but it'll be easier for you and for me. Through the sky, chorus. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Dona, 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 dona. Dona, 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 dona. Dona, 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 dona. Dona, 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 dona. Stop complaining, said the farmer who told you a calf to be. Why don't you have wings to fly with, like the swallow so proud and free? How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. They laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Dona, 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 dona. Dona, dona, dona. Dona, 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 dona. Dona, 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 dona. Calves are easily bound and slaughtered, never knowing the reason why, never tasting a breath of freedom, like the swallow in the sky. How the winds are laughing, they laugh with all their might. Laugh and laugh the whole day through, and half the summer's night. Dona, 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 dona. 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 Right. Let's end this set with some. I can't play without doing at least one Woody Guthrie song. great and singing wonderfully, so I'm gonna. But first, I'm gonna. So Woody Guthrie, for those of you who are not big Woody Guthrie knowers, wrote. I've sung this song and I'll sing it again about the people I knew on the wild windy plain in the month of April in the county of Gray. And here's what all of the people did say. So long, it's been good to know you. That's one. So long, it's been good to know you. So long, it's been good to know you. This dusty old dust is getting my home, and I gotta be drifting along. He also wrote one that I've rambled all around your city, and I've rambled all around your town, and I never see a friend I know as I go rambling around, boy. As I go rambling around. He wrote a song about Tom Joad after he read The Grapes of Wrath, and he also, one of the verses of the song, the fruit trees, they are loaded, they bend down to the ground. I pick 'em all day for $1, boy. I go rambling around, as I go rambling around. Sometimes the fruit gets rotten and it falls down on the ground. There's a hungry face for every peach that falls down on the ground, boy. That falls down on the ground. So he also wrote, Woody Guthrie wrote the first songs that I really remember. I still have them, the album, not the album, the records, the 78s. I still have them. So there was went to a dance and the animals come and the jaybird danced with horseshoes on and the grasshopper danced till he fell on the floor. Jig along, jig along. Pete Seeger sang this with me one time. Jig, jig, jig along home, jig, 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 jig along home. Jig along, jig along, jig along home, jig, 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 jig along home. So I won't do the whole jig along home thing, but here's the children's. Here was one of those 6. Maybe there were 3 records, 6 songs, and I think there was another set that I never got. But this one, I don't know. This one I always thought was special. Maybe when I was little, I didn't think it was so special, but when I started having kids, I started thinking it was special. Mommy, oh mommy, come wash my face. Come wash my face. Come wash my face. Mommy, oh mommy, come wash my face. Make me nice and clean. Oh, I never. When I was in that bathtub, no. But now, Daddy, oh Daddy, come scrub my back. Come scrub my back. Come scrub my back. Daddy, oh Daddy, come scrub my back. I wanna be nice and clean. Oh, here's the chorus. Clean, oh clean. Clean, oh clean. Clean, oh clean. Oh, clean, oh clean. Scrubbity, scrubbity. Yeah, rub-a-dub-dubbity. I wanna be nice and clean. Okay, you can't get away with just sitting there on that. You gotta help me with that. Clean, oh clean. Clean, oh clean. Oh, clean, oh clean. Oh, clean, oh clean. Scrubbity, scrubbity, and rub-a-dub-dubbity. Be nice and clean, oh sweetie, come smell me now, smell me now, smell me now, sweetie, oh sweetie, come smell me now. Oh, I smell nice and clean, oh clean, oh clean, clean, oh clean, scrubbity, scrubbity, and rub-a-dub-dubbity. Oh, I smell nice and clean, oh. As I went walking that river highway, I saw above me that in the skyway, I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and I rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts. And all around me a voice came calling. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Where the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, a voice came sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream water. This land was made for you and me. Stick around, Molly's gonna join me in a second.